Okay. Thank you and welcome to Political Science Learning Hub. Okay, we are still on the topic Introduction to Politics. Today we'll be looking at Series 5. In the last class, we look at Series 4, but today we'll be looking at Series 5 precisely. And then what will be our focus for today's class? We'll be looking at political science as a social science discipline. Okay, political science as a social science discipline. Now, political science as a social science. Of course, we have established in the previous class that politics is the most important factor in the integrating dimension of society, the subsystem through which the other dimensions of human activities are merged or realized. Okay. We define political science as the master science. And I recall that in that class, we established that every other subsystem in the entire system of a society, every other subsector in the system, in the society, in the state, okay, are realized, okay, or depend on politics. And that's why we say politics is the master science, okay? So also within the ambit of the social science faculty or social science family, politics, of course, is still important. It's still important as it's important to the society because here we say is the most important factor in the integrating dimension of society. Now, when politics in a society is not, well established, is not organized, then every other subsystem will suffer. So politics, okay, becomes so important because it is within that system that every other system or subsystem is realized. Every other human activity or human endeavor, as we call them, okay, can be realized. So if the society or the state or the politics is not okay, then it affects every other aspect. And that's why even in the social science, politics is quite important. Okay. Again, politics and political relations do not exist in vacuum. This is quite important that you should know this, that politics itself and political relations do not exist in vacuum. Okay, they have arena, they have places where they are realized, where they manifest. So you say politics, where does it manifest? Okay, it's in a society. Okay, it's in a society, and that society is not defined in isolation. Politics does not stand in isolation in a society. So when you come to the society, you come to the state, you see the political aspect, you see the social aspect, you see the economic aspect, you see the military aspect, you see other dimensions that actually make up that society or the state, which politics is one. Okay. So again, politics does not actually exist in a vacuum. Okay. Yeah, it has arena where it is manifested. And it does not manifest alone, it manifests in relation with other aspect of society. So politics and political relation are embedded within a larger social system. Do you get now? Yeah, politics and political relations are embedded within larger social system. Just to put it in perspective, my earlier explanation that again, politics does not exist in vacuum. It exists alongside other, systems within the society. That society is what we refer to here as social system. Do you get? Like we refer to the state as the highest institution. Okay, so we refer to the social the society here as the social system. So when you come into a society it's a social system actually, okay, within which you find politics, you find other aspects of that society that keep the society going and also functioning. Now, so the social science, okay, in the family of the social science, we have sociology, we have political science, we have psychology, we have economics. Okay. Now, all social science discipline complement each other. And that is why they are under this broad umbrella called social science. Okay, because they actually complement each other. Again, you can't talk about politics without economy, right? You can't talk about economy without politics. You can't talk about politics, okay, without sociology, without the society, without the social relation. So it will be difficult for you to extricate, for instance, politics from family life, okay, from religious life, especially in our own context, a developing society like Nigeria, where the social dimension also impinges seriously on politics. Okay, the religious dimension, the ethnic dimension for us, especially in Africa, Nigeria in specific, these are important aspect of politics. Okay, so you see they are interwoven: sociology, political science, psychology. Okay, yeah, the psych, the cognitive aspect of human beings. Okay, our psyche, the way we think. Yeah, the way we think. An African man is an African man, right? Yeah, he goes with his tradition, he goes with his thought, he goes anywhere he's going with his religion. He acts based on those influences, those factors shape his action and what have you. So they are all interwoven. So we study all of these within the broader umbrella known as social science. Okay, so the core four disciplines actually under the social science family is sociology, political science, psychology, economics. Okay, they are not cast on the stone. Some other institution you could see anthropology, you could see geography, like that, but these are the core ones. Is that clear? All right, let's move. And then again, as I said earlier, remember I said they complement each other. None of them stand alone. And the emphasis now is interdisciplinarity. Okay. Um, the emphasis now is you want to do a study, okay, you synergize. Okay, political scientists, if he's there, an economist is there, psychologist is there, sociologist is there, then that study will be stronger because a sociologist will bring in his own expertise, look at the social dimension of that study. A political scientist will come in with his own expertise and then look at the political dimension of that study. Same for psychologists, same for economists, and then you have a near perfect result in your study. So the hinting now all over the world is actually interdisciplinarity, the synergy between these disciplines. Okay, if you are doing a research, you're writing a paper, and it's a collabo between, for instance, a sociologist and a political scientist, it's more recognized anywhere in the world. Okay, so that's actually the instinct. So it's quite important. And again, they also draw from their methodologies. Okay, we studies in political science or in the social sciences, sorry, we also draw from each other, especially in terms of methodology. Some of these disciplines like sociology, psychology, they are well grounded in methodology. Okay, like the economists, they are well grounded in quantitative study. Okay, political scientists are well grounded in qualitative studies. Okay, so if these expertise or these experts in this field come together to do a research or write a work or do a work, it's the quality is more better. All right. Again, in conclusion, all social sciences share the same interest of studying, analyzing, and explaining human behavior in a society. Okay. Another way of calling or referring to the social science is the behavioral science. Okay. In some literature, you see that they are referred to as the behavioral science. Okay. Now, all of these disciplines under the broad family of the social sciences, okay, focus on the behavior, okay, the human behavior in a society. Okay, they focus on human behavior in the society. So for instance, a political scientist will look at the political behavior. Okay, the psychologist will look at the psychological or psycho behavior. Okay, the economist will look at the economic behavior, the economic dimension, and then the sociologist will look at the social dimension. But all of them are human behavior, actually. That is why they are tied under, the broad umbrella known as the social science. Now, each social science discipline specializes in the study of one domain or subsystem of the social system. Okay? Yeah, just putting what I've said earlier in perspective, right? Each social science discipline specializes in the study of one domain. So, political science study politics. Sociology studies the social aspect. Psychology study the psychological aspect, and the economists study the economic aspect. So it's as simple as that. Hope there is clarity here. All right. All social science disciplines have adopted the scientific method from the physical sciences. Again, returning back to that word, the behavioral, okay? Yeah, in the literature, you find them as the behavioral. That behavioral, okay, is a term that emerged after the Second World War to actually capture the integration of the scientific method in the social science faculty, or in social studies, anything that is social, okay, in social studies. Now, it is actually the integration of the scientific method. That integration, that scientific method is known as the behavioral sciences, okay? The behavioral approach that focus on the integration of the scientific method to the study of social science, okay? So two key important things to know. One, about the behavioral science. One is that it focuses on behavior, not on institutions, not on laws, okay, not on norms, all right, but on behavior of political actors. Now, let me narrow it down to political science. So, the behavior of political actors. And then, number two is that it now adopt a quantitative, okay, mathematical quantitative method, okay, from science, statistics, mathematics in understanding that behavior. So study behavior, that's the emphasis. Let's study behavior instead of law, instead of constitution. Let's study behavior of political actors. How do we study it? How do we approach that or understand the behavior? Use scientific method, okay, which is mathematical, which is statistical for precisions, okay. Fine. The essence of the scientific method is for empirical analysis. That is the essence of integrating the scientific method, so that we'll move away from the normative, the traditional old approach to the study of politics, to a more empirical, okay, approach aided by the scientific method. So it's for empirical analysis, for explanation and prediction based on generalizations, theories, and laws. Okay, the scientific world exists on generalization, theories, and laws, right? For instance, the law of gravity. That's one example. In science, in mathematics, there are several laws like that. Okay, so also when we adopt the scientific method in the study of social variables, political phenomena, we can develop generalization, theories, and laws. Okay, for instance, the iron law of oligarchy. Okay, so it will enable us to explain and then to predict. We'll be able to predict with precision. Okay, like the way a medical scientist or medical doctor will look at someone, examine the person and say, he has 2 weeks to live. And if nothing is done to as to intervene, the person after 2 weeks may die. Okay, yeah. An engineer will look at maybe an automobile car or an aeroplane and say, no, this flight cannot go. It's bad. If you insist, use it like that, something tragic may happen. Okay, same thing. Okay, so it's out of scientific study, then they predict. The same thing when we adopt this scientific methodology into political science or the social sciences, we'll be able to study things and then explain them. After explanation, we can also predict. Okay, you can say, okay, this war will lead to this. If this trend continue this way, if the campaign go this way, it will lead to this way. The election, if not suspended, it can lead this way, or this person will win, by prediction after study. Okay, so that's actually why we insist and then adopt the scientific approach. Okay, hope you get it clear. Okay, the next slide is a thank you slide. So let me say it again. Thank you for joining today. Thank you for watching our content. Please do well to actually like, share, and subscribe. Okay, so I'll see you again in the next class. Please don't forget to drop your questions. Please drop your question so that I know you're following. Okay, ask your question, I will attend to them. Bye.